Okay, welcome back to Friday's Tip and Postcast. We're going to quickly cover Chantilly now with the Arc, of course, this showpiece event at 3:05. Paddy Power, I believe, are playing 4 places. Enable's in there. Now, I had a good look at this race last night, and there's one that I think is really, really overpriced. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll probably know who that is. But enough about me. Frank, how do they bet?
Tell us. What is it?
Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. Keels knows. You guys need to, keep your wits about you a bit more on social media, then you'd know. Sorry, Frank, go for it.
Enable is favourite at even money. Ulysses 15-2, Winter 9-1, Order St George 11-1, Deshingi's Secret 12-1, Bramato 14-1, Capri 18-1, and we're 20s bar.
Capri should not be 20-1. Right, Keels, kick us off.
I mean, like everybody, I can't really see past Enable winning the race. But I think if there's one danger to it, it is Order of St George, and I cannot believe for the life of me how Ryan Moore has ended up on Winter.
No.
He was run once over further than a mile and beat a horse called Blonde Me, who you could put in this race at 10,000-1 and it wouldn't have a single backer. She's just got so much to prove going up to 1.5 miles for the first time, and her form ain't that good anyway. So
someone said a load on Twitter last night about how Winter's really, really overrated. She's not beaten anything, and everything's had excuses.
It's hard to say a horse is overrated when she keeps on winning, and then you can forgive one slightly below par run maybe at Leopardstown, but the level of the form itself isn't that high. No. Same could be said of Found last year, mind you. She hadn't shown actually that much more in terms of raising post ratings, but. This looks a weakish race to me, other than Enable. And Order St George, he's absolutely bomb-proof on soft ground. He just runs his race every single time. We all know he's not the most straightforward in the world.
He's classy though, isn't he?
But he is very, very classy, and he's an older but better version of Capri as far as I'm concerned. The first 4 home in the race in the. Innocent Ledger were covered by about 2.5 lengths. Rekindling got an absolute shocker of a ride and should have been closer. And Order St George absolutely destroyed him very, very easily. So, I think he's the one to finish second. I don't really give much else a chance.
No, and you just think Enable's going to win, pure and
simple? I think
simple?
Enable will probably win, but I just think Order St George is thumping each way better around 10-12-1.
Okay, Order St George is the wrong price for Keels. David?
I think the most interesting one is Winter.
Oh no!
So it just goes to show you that I certainly don't copy Paul all the time. And
I could say she's the most interesting because she's running over trips she hasn't raced at.
I think it's very interesting that Ryan's picked her.
Well, here you go.
Does he pick though? Does he pick or does he get told?
Well, that's true.
This has been the plan
Hang on,
for
didn't you
months.
say before the Irish Champion Stakes that they thought that Churchill was way better than Winter?
Yeah, over a mile. Yeah, certainly.
Ah, okay.
But this has been the plan for Winter for a long, long time. And apparently she will come on leaps and bounds from Leopardstown.
She's going to need to.
Yeah, she obviously will. But she's out of Galileo. Laddie's Poker 2, the dam, 1 over 7 furlong. And I know it was a sprinter, but it won in its debut, I think, over 7 furlongs at Kempton. And I think just her style, she's so relaxed. She's so straightforward. I could just see her, breaking well, sitting third or fourth, getting into a nice posse. And she's so much class. As Paul said, the main reason why I think Winter is really interesting is because of the race. I think when you go below Winter, and Order St George is obviously interesting, but the thing about Order St George is, let's be honest about it, it's probably going to finish second, third, fourth or fifth. I just think it's vulnerable to something a little bit special. Enable obviously deserves to be favoured. She's spectacular. But I do think it's between the 2 fillies. I think Enable is a better filly than Found. Found was good enough to win this race. Aidan knows. He knows what he has. He knows he's known for some time, I think, that Ryan was going to ride Winter. She does have class, and I think 9-1 is pretty fair. I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Winter beat Enable, even though I think Enable is the most likely winner.
I'd much prefer to take a dual classic winner at more than double the price myself, but you are right. We like
I'm
to
a
have
classic winner too. I'm a
Well,
dual classic winner as well.
Well, yeah, I think mine are probably better. Anyway, we like a difference of opinion. Frank, anything different for you to chuck into the ring for us?
Yeah, look, everyone thinks Enable's past the post already, but at the
Is
price.
she?
That's what people think. I wouldn't be of that opinion. It's an arc, and no matter how weak you might think it is, it's going to take a fair amount.
You've got to mention the draw as well. The draw's been quite kind to her, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've got low enough draw. Look, I was looking at it and I was kind of going, Ulysses is very solid, but really, can he beat an Able? Probably unlikely. For me, stamina is a massive issue for Winter. I'm not convinced she'll see it out at all. I would think if you're backing her, I'd be putting in and out late about 2-1, 9-4, because I could see her travelling well to maybe a furlong and a half out, and I can see her just running out of petrol and stopping. But that's just my opinion. I was willing to give one at a massive price and each way a chance. I don't think he'll win, but I'd rather back this at 40-1, or I think
This is
Idaho.
definitely Cloth of Stars.
Idaho?
No,
Cloth of
Idaho.
Stars.
Idaho. He was terrible in America.
It is Idaho.
Terrible in America, and I think you can forgive him that. I thought it was interesting enough Shamie Heffernan's on him rather than maybe one of the other ones that he could have ridden. Like, he would have won the Ledger last year, no doubt. He won a Royal Ascot in the Hardwick. He was third in the King George, only, what was he, a neck behind Ulysses?
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with
40-1.
you. Yeah, I really do.
Like, 4 places, I wouldn't be shocked to see him place. And if he places, you'll actually get more than if you backed an Able to win for the same stake.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's the way I'd
Idaho's
look at
the
it.
one I looked at. We mentioned the draw. I mean, I don't actually think it has that much impact because quite a few have won from out wide at Chantilly. Anyone have any strong opinions on the draw before we move on?
Well,
No, I
according to
don't
our
think so,
international
do we?
experts, yeah. Our international experts were saying you wouldn't want to be drawn too high, but they were telling me I wouldn't know.
International expert, I could tell you that, and I'm not an international
Oh
expert.
no, but I think like you need to be drawing 7, 8 or so down.
Well, I
To
thought
real
it,
chance,
wasn't
but-
it all high numbers last year?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's the lads
Oh,
told me, but
can we just say
But,
if you're
yeah,
good
I
enough,
don't
you'll
know.
win from wherever? Right, okay, moving on to the Marcel Boussac at 110. Polydream in there is a really interesting horse who beat Lawrence, who won the May Hill. And we've also Aidan O'Brien's saddles Magical in September, I believe. Frank, is that right? And if so, what prices?
yeah, Polydream 5-4, Magical 9-4, Sue's Traction 8-1, Mission Impassable 8-1 also, and we're 12s bar.
Okay, kick us off, Frank. This Polydream, a lot of people think she's something special, don't they?
I'll be dead honest, I just go lumping that, and that's the race done with.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I watched it. I just watched it on YouTube before I came out, and it's absolutely thrash Lawrence. The jockey is looking up at the big screen, the furlong out, and he's just riding along and having another look all the time. It was just totally in control. So yeah, very good horse.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it'll be
'cause
about 1.2 on the PMU tomorrow.
we have got to hurry up a little bit here. So, David, I'm a bit reluctant to go to you on that note, but
No,
Polydream as well.
I just fancy Polydream, yeah.
Okay, all of us on Polydream. 145, the Jean-Luc Lagardère, as Paul Keeling mentioned earlier, happily the filly taking on the Colts, Massart and Olmedio, who was very impressive on debut, went into a lot of notebooks. Frank, quickly, the betting.
Yeah, just 1 second, I'm just getting it there now.
Oh.
Massars 13-8, Happily 5-2, Mythical Magic 4-1, Almeida 5-1, 9-1 bar.
Okay, and your pick, Frank?
Happily.
Happily. Okay, David?
Massar crying out for a mile.
Do you think he's good enough?
Oh yeah, crying out for a mile. He's a stayer.
Yeah, it's probably not the strongest race. Maybe I'm not
No,
sure.
I don't think it's a very strong race.
No.
I thought Happily should have been Fav, so that would have been for me.
Okay, I like Happily as well. And moving on now to the Prix de l'Opera, Wahida, Senga, Rhododendron. This could be quite a competitive race. Frank, what does the betting say?
The betting says I can't find it.
And I say not good enough. No.
2 seconds, I'll get it there.
Okay.
All right. Maybe go to the lads after selection. I'll get the prices for you.
Have you had a look at this, Skills?
Not a massive look. I mean, I keep thinking Rhododendron should be better than she's shown this year. And she's been on the drift all week by all accounts, by the look of it. So I'm not 100% sure, no.
But maybe a stab at Rhododendron. Okay, David?
I thought the one that was overpriced was Queen's Trust. I think she's 9s with powers.
You won't like
she's
this
not.
ground, will
She's
she?
8s. Yeah, I don't know. I just think she's a bit of class, and there's ifs and buts about so many of them. I think she's pretty consistent, and if Enable hasn't absolutely battered her heart, I think Queen's Trust could be interesting.
Okay, Frank.
Yeah, I have the
prices?
prices. Yeah, Hydrangea and Lacazar 5-1, Chamarine 11-2, He the 6-1, Queen's Trust, Rhododendron, Senga 8-1, and 10-1 bar. I'm hoping Dermot will get a winner on Arc Day and make up for the disappointing early season. Chamarine was very good at the Curragh there on Champions Weekend, and I think she'll relish the ground. I think Queen's Trust, the ground is a massive negative.
Yeah.
It's also a negative that Foy is Ryan Moore not on Rhododendron, who we would have thought would have been first string. Hydrangea, she seems to love Leopardstown but not run quite so well away from there. I think the Chamarine's got a right chance.
Yeah, I'm not sure Hydrangea would be good enough even on that Winter form, because as we say, Winter, everyone knows she wasn't quite right then. The Abbey, we've got Marsha taking on Batash again. Do you reckon Marsha can win this race for the second year in a row, Keels?
Well, I hope not. I'm a massive fan of Batash, and I'm just going to give him another chance.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to shell out a penny until we see what happens when he's down at the start. I mean, apparently he can get saddled out there, can't he? I mean, so he can be away from all the noise or whatever. But he just got so worked up at York.
He really did, yeah.
And I just can't believe, he travelled really, really well for about
I thought he was going to win for halfway through.
I did, and I thought, blimey, to get that worked up, and I just think he is a potential superstar if they can get his head right, but whether they ever can or not is another matter.
He's a quirky old thing, isn't he? But I think I'd be inclined to agree. David Marshall or Batash or something else?
Batash for me. I think
2 scores.
I just think. I think the track will suit, and just so much natural early pace. It's just effortless over those first 2 furlongs for Batash. 7-2 is very fair. It looks a 2-horse race, and I give Batash another chance. And as Paul said, this whole thing before the race, I think they're allowed to keep it well away
York,
from
they had to walk him across, and they had all those shenanigans as well. So it might be worth bearing that in mind.
And this is it's pretty much a speed test. This 5 furlong track at Chantilly, I think. So Batash for me.
Okay, and Frank, quickly.
I'm been burnt by this horse a couple of times this year, but I'm going to go in one last time. That's Signs of Blessing. I still can't get his run at Deauville in May out of my head when he hammered Profitable, giving him £11. And his record at Chantilly is 2 wins and a second from 3 efforts. He got back to form the last day at Deauville again, winning a Group 3 very, very easily. I think 5 furlongs soft ground. He'll blast out in front, and I'm hoping he'll stay there. I will back him each way, though. He's about 9-2, 5-1, that kind of price.
Okay, so Signs of Blessing for Frank. And quickly, the Qatar Prix de la Forêt at 5:15. I don't believe Lamato's going to run in this, which isn't a great surprise given the forecast. Keels, have you had a great look at this?
Not really. I'd forgotten it was even on.
That's just what we want to hear from our best tipsters.
There's too much racing going on. How many races do you need previewed in a day?
We ask too much of you, don't we?
If Brando gets 7 furlongs, he's probably a fair price, but some decent horses in there.
Frank, what price can we get on Brando?
Brando is 6-1. I'll give you the mark there. Acclaim and Zelzal are 5-2 joint favourites. Carrar 7-2. Brando 6-1. Dame de Roy 10-1 at 16 bar.
Okay, well, I haven't heard of half of those, so it's probably not a great race. I know they've been keen to get Acclaim a Group 1. Maybe this could be his opportunity. David, what say you?
No, don't fancy Anton here.
Nothing at all?
No.
Okay, and Frank, what about you?
I'm probably going to be hungover on Sunday, so I'll probably pop out and get a pizza or a packet of chips, I'd say, by the time this race is on.
A packet of chips.
Yeah. Something dirty and greasy.
I absolutely love this mentality. None of us like the foray. Right, now on to our Sunday naps.
This will not be beaten.
Okay, Frank, instead of chips, what's your Sunday nap?
Chantilly is on, but I'm going to Tipperary for my Sunday nap.
Excellent.
4 o'clock CR. Apparently this is quite good, and I'd say it might win.
Apparently this is quite good. It's your Sunday nap. For God's sake, right, Keels, anything better?
No, I just think Order St George's a thumping each way bet.
Okay, quite simple.
sorry.
DJ?
Sorry, can I just say, actually, I completely forgot. Polydream's a complete certainty as well. 5-4.
No price. No price, though, is it?
Put in a double with the Willie one in the Tipperary.
Okay, DJ?
Maddie, I have a horse here that genuinely now, I mean this will not be beaten. This can be the new theme tune for our naps. As I said before, I have 1 horse and 1 horse only in my horse tracker, and this filly is running on Sunday in Musselburgh in the 2:30. Now this I cannot describe how confident I am about this. I've been praying for it to come out. It's called Ellerbrook. Okay, it's trained by Michael Dobbs.
How is this spelled?
ELLER and then BROOK. Okay, and look, I'm just convinced this horse has a stone in hand. Convinced. Ran first time in the nursery last time, over course and distance. Just have a look at the race. My God. It came out of the stalls.
I backed it.
It was so eye-catching, wasn't it, Paul?
Yeah, it was.
And
definitely.
it's got a pound, right? Like, Paul Morenin basically gave it a nice, easy race. It still was on the bridle over a furlong out. Like, this is as bad a nursery as you can find. This horse has a stone in hand. When the betting open up on Saturday, it could be a little bit of a price, but it will be smashed, I'd imagine. Like, I'd be literally devastated if Heller Brook doesn't win this 2:30 at Musselburgh.